Let's continue our coverage, though. Many families in KwaZulu-Natal are still reeling from the loss of their loved ones in those floods. Search and recovery operations continue, as Desmond says. Many residents feel, though, that they're not getting the help they actually need. Monique Mortlock is covering this angle of the story for us. She joins us now live. So, Monique, how are residents coping who have lost their loved ones and still can't find their bodies a month later?
Well, Shahan, I spoke to some families in North Dean, Phase 4 today. Those are families who were thankfully able to find their loved ones. You'll hear a little later how one woman describes how her grandmother was swept away as her house basically collapsed on her. But that woman has been playing an integral role in helping the SANDF to reverse some of the more rugged terrain, the terrain that the locals are familiar with, that the SANDF might not be as familiar with. She has played quite an integral role in helping them during these search and recovery operations. But I also spoke to one woman who, for her, this was deja vu, the floods, because in April 2019, this Gogo Hlekisile Zamisa, she lost her granddaughter, her 14-year-old granddaughter, in those floods, and this time around she lost her only son and the sole breadwinner. Let's just take a listen to what she had to say.
Ngiyacabanga njenganami mewuphela kwayo iyona kade ngipha ngifita namhlanje akekho umuntu ozofita ngokudla nginama worries ebusuku akulaleki ngiyacabanga angisho imvula kaGoqubala nje ilanga ngithi ngimvula sisizomuka nami njengoba lehlabathi le iyashekha nje lenhlabathi angihleli kahle anginalutho ke anginalutho njengoba ngihle nje buqini kanjena akunje kwangena imvula anokudla kwakhona nje kwabola namabhaketi avulacitheka nokudla ngihle nje omakhelwane bangisiza bayangifida mangilethela ukudla njalo ntambama ngoba anginakudla la ekhaya bakwachitheka anemali kade iphumile ngilokhuzela angathengela abantu bomngcwabo akukho lutho nje wangihlalele nje ngidluphuthu namanzi phuza amanzi ngidluphuthu.
So there we heard the Gogo explaining that her son, her 28-year-old son, he looked after her. He was everything to her. Although she has 3 other daughters, Celo was the sole breadwinner. She even proudly showed us that the home in which we did the interview, he built that home for her after those floods in April 2019 washed away their structure, that he had built that house for her. He had also built a separate entrance for him and for his sisters, and so Celo has left a gaping hole in the life of Mama Zamisa, and she's just one of hundreds of families going through the exact same grief, the exact same mourning. And she was talking also about how she's scared that one day she will be swept away as well, because she's seen it happening so many times to her neighbors and also to her children, that they just succumb to these heavy rainfalls, the persistent rains, the flooding, and that's what the Gogo said. We also managed to speak to, as I mentioned a little earlier, Jabu Nkumalo. She's a community leader there in Phase 4, and although Jabu has also seen some traumatic events, as she'll explain it right now, she has been working tirelessly throughout these last couple of weeks, working with the SANDF on their search and recovery operations, helping them actually discover bodies and to bring closure to some families. Let's just take a listen to Jabu explaining how she lost her grandmother.
Today the rain was keep on falling. It was overnight. And I heard a big scream. While the house is falling down, my 2 sons came and rescued the great-grandkids of Gogo. Then Gogo at that time was being synced with the house. We just found Gogo on the second day, on the other day in morning. We took her to the hospital where he passed away. And next to Gogo's house, there is another house who was also sink down. That mom lost a son at the age of 28, and even on 2019, she lost a teenager at the age of 14 at the same place. What I think, to my knowledge, is that can the city try another means to move these families to another place, because it's very sad and it's very hard. We can't build another house in this kind of a sand. So I do have some families. It's 7 families by my house. 2 of them are my relatives, are my sister's grandsons and granddaughters. But these 5 are my neighbors. I can't do anything at the moment because it seems these things affected the whole area. Even if they can go to the community halls, they can stay there without leaving their belongings behind. So it's better if they are nearby their belongings. They will stay. Then we're gonna eat what I have, sleep from where we're gonna sleep. We're gonna share everything because God is all above.
All right, we can leave it right there. Our reporter Monique Mortlock is in Durban.